Hello, everybody. Welcome to this special edition of Adventure Awaits, where we're going to be answering some questions that you've asked that, we may have for each other, favorite moments from characters or just the story in general. Chris couldn't be with us today. I guess
he sucks.
He's dead. I killed him again. So this is just going to take place of a regular episode.
Yep, it's a little behind the scenes. The making of Adventure Awaits. Cue the music.
Beep, bop, 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 bop. So what's our first question on the docket here?
So actually, we're going to start out with our favorite moments. So
okay.
Let's just go around the table and we'll come up with a favorite moment for your character and a favorite moment for someone else's character.
I have mine for my character. If you don't mind me going first.
Okay.
I do mind. Yeah.
Oh, okay. I think so far my favorite moment may have to be the Halloween episode at the very end where I got the crit on the giant lizard man. That was kind of like the penultimate.
Chopping that lizard dick.
I really knew that that's what you were going to pick. I don't know why, but I was like, yep, that's the one.
Because we're all immature and that's just how it rolled.
It's all right.
But I think if that wouldn't count, I'd probably have to go with the very first episode where we got off the boat and we just rolled like garbage. Just because it just set the tone perfectly. It still makes me laugh even every time I hear it.
Yeah, everybody rolling ones. And me just standing there.
Yeah.
But I think if I had to pick my favorite moment from, not my character, it'd probably have to be Ice to Meet You. I think that probably still is one of the cooler, reveals from a character I think I'm ever gonna see.
Nice.
Yeah, it was pretty dope.
I hope I get a cool one in Starfinder from you, though. I'm expecting it now.
Uh-oh. I've set the bar too high.
Yes, you have.
I'm not that good of a role player.
We just wing it and make stupid references half the time.
All right, so I guess I'll go. My favorite moment from my character would probably be recently when I successfully got a crit and I downed some people pretty quick, which was nice.
When we were sneaking up on those
The zomboids?
ghouls? No, I think we missed that. There was the lizards.
It was after that, yeah.
The lizard,
okay.
the three lizards, yeah.
Yeah.
Your favorite character moment was when you actually got to do something good with your character.
Yes.
That's usually what favorite moments are.
I
Well,
mean,
no, but
you know.
there could be a funny roleplay aspect too. That's what I mean. Okay. Well, other character. Any good moments?
Well, there were a couple. I really liked when, I don't know if it actually stayed in the podcast or not, but we were walking, we were going somewhere and talking about how bad Poe stunk, and you guys were talking about we try and bathe them in the water and just all these
I think
dead fish
that did stay up.
just float to the top.
I remember listening to the episode and I said, "Yeah, we walk into the water and there's this oil trail behind Poe and all the fish are floating up behind him." Yeah, that did stay in. That whole ode to Poe thing was really funny.
Yeah, it was a good moment.
And then the other one would be an earlier moment when Lucky was hurting people, because it was just nice irony.
Hurting.
Yeah.
Hurting.
Heard.
Yeah, during the beginning of the storm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I do remember the Chris's southern. You get back on that boat, and then I'm gonna stab you. That's still one of my favorite lines out of him, especially. That was one of my favorites.
Yeah. I'd say my favorite Lucky moment is still probably the water elemental fight.
Beginning?
Towards the beginning of that night that was just garbage for all of us.
Yeah.
It was really cool because it was an encounter that was built for 4 people.
And you guys tanked it with 2.
We tanked it with 2, and there was also a great moment where I stepped up and protected Evelyn, and I thought that really showcased Lucky's instinct to protect his humans. So I thought that was pretty great.
Aww.
And as far as other people's roleplay moments, Y'all are garbage. No, I'm just kidding.
I already knew that.
This actually is a really special episode for Alex to just completely tear apart everybody else's performance. And there was our good cop, bad cop with Lucky and Charles.
That was
Oh
good.
my god.
That was fun. I really wish we could have done more with that.
That was fun.
Because I think if it was just us two and we would have had like time to like really prepare for it, I think we really could have made it something special.
The good cop, bad cop was pretty amazing. I've liked Poe a lot more in recent episodes.
Yeah,
because he's developed a lot more of his personality.
He's stepping up.
Yeah,
his jokes haven't, but his personality's stepping up.
I haven't really told many jokes recently, though.
right.
Well,
But
we gotta
just
think we've been in like combat so much, and like
Yeah.
we're like in no position to be telling jokes
Right.
really. So
well, it's like just his banter has gotten a lot
Yeah.
better. Like I think you've really stepped into his whole like I'm oblivious to other people. Like he's socially awkward.
I
like,
literally think the whole the idol part, where like you're crying over the how did you say it?
Guzra?
Guzra. The
Yeah.
Guzra thing destroyed me when I listened back to it. I was at work and hearing you just like, did I do good? Like how you played that was just so fantastic, and it's been fun to sit here next to you and listen to you do that.
Yeah, I liked the Evelyn talking to him, and he's like, "Okay, Barbara."
Yeah, you just said her name wrong.
That was all pretty good.
Oh, wait. I kind of want to throw up. Not throw up. Oh, no, that was wrong.
Oh, God.
Oh, jeez.
I kind of want to come back to that moment when Lucky was trying to help Evelyn feel better with like the bone. That was another, like pretty favorite moment because that was just so cute.
Another thing with that is mine and yours, like Charles trying to like get the bone from Lucky, and like telling him like you can't be like taking these, and like you playing as a dog, you're like, well, they're just bones. Like, why do I give a shit? You know, that was really fun. Like when we were recording that, I wanted that to go on for like, I know we couldn't like make it go on forever, but like that kind of stuff, I'd love to like just take and like get like a whole like huge chunk of like just some stupid gag like that.
Yeah,
like those like my favorite parts of that. Like that's what I'm hoping when we go to Starfinder. Like I don't know, like I know Kevin's character, I don't know you guys's. So, like, I'm hoping, like, the way, like, my character acts is, like, we're gonna get more of that.
Yeah.
So, that's another exciting part of that is, like, just to get more, like, a chance to get better role play out of those.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
because I'm pretty excited.
I definitely want to try and focus on better role playing when we shift to Starfinder. I think that'd be good for us.
Kev, your favorite moments?
So, I've been thinking about it.
And I can't think of any.
And I can't, no. There's a part early on where we know there's a creature in the town that we were trying to take care of, and I love the scene of just like Poe just banging on his drums, ready to go down and to kill this thing.
Yeah. Oh, was it the troll?
I think it was the troll.
We were fighting that.
Yeah.
That was the same night as the water elemental night because it was like
it was later that night
because that's when you and I were in the bar and like we were drinking and like they were fighting.
And I was just telling jokes.
Yeah, and I think Charles died a little bit inside listening to the stand-up routine. So
yeah, I didn't roll very well. I think there's one good joke that I told.
I think that you rolled like a 19 or a 20 once.
I just that contrast of like going from Lucky and Evelyn like battling
in the
for
rain,
their lives,
like in the rain, and like looking for this cat.
Cut back to you guys in the tavern, just like, man, where are those guys?
Like I'm like Charles is banging his head on the bar, like just make it end already.
I thought that was a pretty great scene.
And then favorite moment from someone else would be it's got to be Lester Restoration.
Lester Restoration was really funny.
I was cracking up so hard.
Oh, man.
I still think my biggest blunder might have been the blowing lizards thing in like episode 2 or 3.
You think?
Like listening back to it, like I'm still mad at myself about it because like I knew what I was going for and I really fucked it up.
Yeah.
I can't believe I haven't done anything that bad because I have a really bad stutter. Sometimes.
Well, you're a furry, so I mean,
not by my doing. No.
Now he makes pancakes.
Yes.
Oh yeah, he's moved on. It's been a fun 20 episodes so far.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's good to see the response that we've been getting. It's mostly positive, I'd say.
Yeah.
Nobody's perfect.
And I think that the criticisms that we've gotten maybe were we're gonna definitely work on it when we get to Starfinder.
Like this is like the whole purpose of this adventure in specific was just to kind of get us used to the recording and like the putting stuff out for a podcast as kind of like a buffer for Starfinder. Like this was never meant to be like a permanent thing. Like this was only supposed to go like,
and that's why we're playing a module.
Exactly.
Adventure path.
And we went to like fast what was it, like level or like development or whatever
XP track.
Yeah, because it's just like we didn't want to sit here for like 50 episodes
at level 3.
Right. And so we could just get like our abilities up, get used to being like getting like leveling up higher levels, you know, all this kind of stuff. So when we get to Starfinder, it's going to be we have some experience under our belt. We're not just going in blind.
Yeah.
So I think, you know, with Chris, like never, I don't know if he's ever DM before.
No, this is his first time.
And he does great. Don't get me wrong, but like I think there's that experience. Like I've never played Pathfinder before, so this is a fun way to get like into that. Like we played D&D for a while. Like I know Alex and Kevin did, and Des came in the very end, but this is a whole other beast entirely. So I think, and plus keeping the same group with our chemistry anyway, I feel like it's gonna just get better from here in the long run.
Yeah. I think we have a lot to improve, but I think we had a good base to start out with.
I mean, I've noticed pretty good improvement from episode 1 to 20, so it's nice.
Just ignore episode, what was it, 13 and 14, where the audio was shitty?
Oh, yeah, that was bad.
Oh,
webcam.
yeah, the webcam.
Yeah, that's nobody's fault in particular.
The webcam's dead. We killed it.
Yes. I believe I said that I threw it in the garbage and
set it on fire.
Set it on fire.
I think we could mention that we're gonna, as we finish up this module and move into Starfinder, we're gonna do some of the shorter, like hour-long adventures.
Yeah, get us used to the Starfinder rules and the mechanics of that.
Yeah, they're pretty close, but
there's
still plenty of differences, and we'd like to get any experience we could.
Yeah, the class that I picked is like there's a whole like element to it that I have to like. When I was making my character with him the other day, I was like, oh god, like there's so much behind it, and like just combat wise in its own right. So it's
mine's pretty easy because it's just like the rogue from Pathfinder, basically.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Very, very similar.
Yeah.
I still wanted to stick with like a magic class. So when you see me in Starfinder, I'll be casting some 6 spells. But the mystic is like the like magic class, and it's more akin to like a wizard and a cleric. Like you can pick.
Oh,
really?
You can kind of pick.
It seems like there are less base classes than in Pathfinder.
Yeah, it does. There's like what, like 6 classes, right?
6 or 7,
something like that.
But like there's like I'm playing a Solarian, and there's a thing where like every like there's spells, quote unquote, but like every like when you start a round, you can pick to either go like it's like photon, which is like light, or like dark. I don't know what the name for the dark was, but like every like after 3 turns, like you're fully attuned to that specific one. You can only pick one. If you pick another, you have to restart, and then you get like these abilities like when you hit that full attunement, and it's crazy. Like the graviton one is I can like pull people like 15 feet closer to me, or 10 feet closer, and like the photon one I can do like a damage, like just here's like 1d6 of damage, and it gets higher as you level up. Like it's insane.
And then you can start choking people from like 10 feet away.
I can basically become Darth Vader. I think that's what they said. I think the Solarian basically equates to like a Jedi,
like a Jedi,
or
depending on how you play it. Yeah,
that's pretty much how it is.
Yeah,
I mean that's cool.
I mean, I'm excited for it. Like I think it's gonna be. I'm like I only kind of do like the melee character stuff, and while like I'm kind of like to use this spells, I guess you'd call it. Like that's something I really haven't done before, so I'm really excited to do that.
Yeah. So, like, what's some like goals that everybody kind of wants to get out of Starfinder?
I want people to like my character.
And the funny thing is that has to start with the 4 people in the room, and I guarantee you when she releases her character, one of us is gonna hate it. No, I'm sure it'll be fine.
Yeah, as long as I don't use the name I threw out there earlier.
Yeah,
then.
We're not gonna mention that.
Yeah, let's not talk about that ever again.
That can be lost to the annals of time. My goal for Starfinder, I guess, would just to be like, I guess just get the podcast more successful. Work on those criticisms to make it like, you know, where it's not a huge flaw. like I said, we're mostly new. That's where a lot of this is coming from anyway.
Yeah.
But I hope to take the experience from this and put it into Starfinder and then make it just... Not that I'm not proud of what we're doing and the success we've had, but something I can really, like, you know, like, wear. Like, yeah, that's... Like, I'm part of that, and, like, this is fantastic.
And we've got 5 stars on iTunes. I don't even know how many stars we have.
Probably 4.5.
That's not bad.
I'll take it, yeah.
No, yeah, the fact that we started making a thing and put it out there, and like I said before, the response to it has been generally positive. I know we're not everybody's
cup of tea,
but
that's
it's
always
impossible
gonna
to
happen.
do.
And we're not, like, everybody's, like, perfect. Like, oh, this is how, like, oh, there's, like, you know, they're going to be missing this or missing this. You know, like, there's a standard everyone has, like, their standard that they're going to hold podcasts to in their mind. And it's hard. And, you know, like I said, everybody's different, so you're not going to be able to hit that. Like, for us right now...
Some
like,
people are looking for, like, the silly
and
podcasts. Some people are looking for the more serious ones. I see that all the times on subreddits and whatnot, so...
Yeah. Well, I guess what I expect from Starfinder is I would like us to get to that point where everyone's like, yeah, you know, their Pathfinder stuff was good, but their Starfinder stuff is where it's at. Like, oh, you got to jump on board for Starfinder. Like, kind of similar to what Ryan said. I'd like to keep growing it and making it better and better in every way that we can, so that just everybody will enjoy it.
And I'm sure again that'll come in time. You know, like I think when we start Starfinder, I'd say like around a month from now, maybe.
Probably. Yeah, it's coming up.
So, I mean, I feel like when we actually get that story started, you know, it's still a generally new game, like a system, you know, so I think there's a little leeway with that. Not that that's going to be like a crutch, but I think we can kind of use that as well, you know, everyone's still kind of learning, so stick with us for this, and then as we like hone that, as we go further and further, I think we could make something like really special. Mm-hmm.
Well, a great thing about not knowing the rules as much is, you know, you can lean into role play and that's what I really want to get into.
I'm very excited for my character's roleplay. Like, I'm very excited to like start with my character and like where he's come from. Yeah. Like, you ever had that? I'm sure you did when you thought Lucky Up. Like when you finally like get the chance to sit down and play it, you're just kind of giddy. You're like, all this work I put into this character, I finally get to put it to use, and like the backstory you have, and like just the abilities in general. I'm really excited for that.
Yeah.
And then you die.
And then I die.
And then you die at level 1.
Yeah. So, fingers crossed doesn't happen because I don't have a backup.
But yeah, I mean, just bantering between each other, like just...
Yeah, I need to get better at that too.
Rather than out of character, like in character, so people get to know our characters more and like them.
Yeah.
And, yeah, also, I would like to get more familiar with my character, so I'm not always like, hey, how do I do this?
Oh, like your character?
Yeah, it takes me out of that moment, and I want to know it more.
Like with the whole banter thing, I feel like my banter isn't terrible. It's like when it's time to get serious, I have a tendency to like just continue like the banter, and I know it's what I do, and I don't mean to do it that way, but I feel like there's a part of me thinks in the back of my head, like, well, we have to be funny, right?
Yeah.
Like, there's that, like, I wouldn't say like a pressure, but it's more of like, well, there has to be fun, you know, it's got to be funny.
Can I throw something out there that, like, that someone said to us? They, not about the podcast, but they were like, don't aim for funny, aim for interesting, and that's what I want to try and work towards.
And, yeah, like, I know, like...
Why not both?
Well, I mean, yeah.
Like, I make a lot of like stupid references and a lot of jokes, and like, I don't want, like, I'm not, like, I think in Starfinder, I might, my goal is to not do that as much. I think.
Yeah.
I think it'll be there. Don't get me wrong. Like, it's gonna happen. You know. Mm-hmm. Like, I can already imagine a David Bowie reference thrown in, just because, you know, space. But
or Lester Restoration.
He'll be right back.
Oh God, I hope he's back.
He'll be an NPC. But I think going forward, I think I might take my like silly approach to it and, you know, hone that back to a more serious aspect that I think it needs to be.
Mm-hmm. Well, I think we had a pretty good discussion so far about our thoughts on the show.
Yeah.
I think maybe we should get to some of our questions.
Sure.
Yeah. So a while back, we asked our audience for questions that we could answer on a format kind of like this. Yeah, if you want to ask us any questions, we might try and do these a little bit more frequently.
Probably when Starfinder comes out as well, answer a lot of stuff.
And it won't
about
be
that.
like the weekly. It'll be
Maybe bi-weekly or monthly.
And it won't be
It'll be
the
like a
actual
bonus.
podcast that week. It'll be a bonus.
It would be
Yeah,
interesting to have
right.
like every month, like at the end of a month, you kind of reflect on like what happened during the podcast in the month, or like
That would be interesting.
like
Yeah.
oh, like you take these like 4 episodes for like, say we start Starfinder in March, so like at the end of March you go, all right, let's sit down, our first 4 episodes of Starfinder out, like what were your favorite moments, what was your least favorite moment, like what can you work on,
I
kind of have
think
like
that would-
a check-in.
I mean, I think that would help us tremendously with growing like our characters and everything.
Yeah, because the problem we have right now is remembering what we did.
yeah, for
Yeah.
sure.
Well, having a podcast like greatly increases
Oh yeah,
my
but
recollection.
still,
I have a habit of like the episode will come out and I go, oh, I need to listen to that, and like we'll like come to record and I just haven't. And I'm like, oh, like what we guys do? Like I think I've asked like almost every week we come in. I'll sit down, I have my headphones, I'm like, guys, well, what happened last episode? So like, Alex will pull it up and all right, we're good. But yeah, I think if we'd manage to do that, whether Chris is here or not, it would be fun to do it without a GM. Like not that I don't want him here. I think just having a like one of this like a player only
Right.
reflection of how we felt, like because he has all the answers to everything. Having
Yeah.
he's read through all
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
first.
but like
2
have
books.
like having us
Something.
episode 3, that huge story moment we found out about. Like what'd you guys think of that? Like, I think if we could manage to do something like that,
Uh-huh.
like that'd be really great. Like
Yeah.
that would be something that I think we could at least try to do.
All right,
Get
first
the-
question.
Yeah.
from Mr. Paul Brown.
Champion of the podcast.
Champion of the podcast.
Oh, you're the best.
Yeah.
He's taking my spot. I'm retiring.
I have a question. Where did you, Alex, get the idea for Lucky from? He's not just cool, he's pretty unique too.
Back when me and Kevin first started playing Pathfinder, there was a supplement for D&D that came out. I think it was for 4th edition. It was a April Fool's Day thing that came out, and it was for a race called a Fey Corgi, which was essentially what Lucky is. But they never made anything for Pathfinder for that. And I always wanted to play it because they're fucking adorable.
They are really adorable dogs.
They're great. So, like, I was like, that would be so much fun to play, but I'm going to have to do some modifying. And it actually ended up being a lot easier than I thought. I just took the halfling, racial template and just kind of made some quick adjustments to it. So it was not difficult. His backstory is kind of what inspired me so much to want to play him. And it hasn't really come out in the story because I just feel like he's pretty reserved. It's like a life-changing moment. So I might try and release like some sort of backstory bonus content just to get that out there.
From
Just something on the website or something.
Yeah.
From what you've told me about it, it's one of the cooler like backstories that I think I've heard from like any character. Even going back to like when we played D&D,
Yeah.
like even just those character backstories, I think that like Lucky's is really unique, and I really liked it.
Well, thanks.
It's like I'm not just saying like that is like a really cool thing. And like when I first heard it, like when we first started, when you said like, oh, I'm a corgi, I was so free. Like I was like, there's a reason I was so surprised because I didn't know about it.
Yeah, I love that moment where you're like, oh
Like I had my hands on my head. I was like so shocked because for a while when we were like doing like test podcasts for this, I wasn't here
Yeah.
because I had to work a lot. Like I was working like early morning shifts, so like I would get off and I didn't want to like because we go to like 1 o'clock in the morning. I had to be at work at 4 in the morning.
Yeah.
So I wasn't here for a lot of that. So from when I remember when last time I had done it, you had that other character.
Yeah. Yeah. It was
Alchemist?
an alchemist.
Yeah, what was his name?
Avery.
Avery. Yeah, he was very like straightforward.
Yep.
And I just remember sitting down and like actually getting the podcast started, and you're like, oh, and there's like a dog, and I just was like, this is fantastic.
Yeah, I've been pretty happy with everybody's response to Lucky.
I mean, how can you hate a dog?
Some people do.
I figured, why don't we just go around the room? Where did everyone else get their idea for their character?
Oh, okay. Des, you want to go?
Go for it.
I mean, I'm just attracted to the tragic life, so I was like, you know what? Let's just make someone that everyone's gonna hate, Like,
She basically went like the standard like murder hobo route. I felt like, not that it's a bad thing. Like it's just one of your first times playing anyway. Like I almost did the same thing with my D&D character. That's what I felt like, because we're like your Pathfinder character, my D&D character, are almost the exact same.
right.
Yeah. Very, very similar.
Well, okay. There is.
Bill.
I can't think of what it's called now, but there was like this book series that I was reading a while ago, and like the main character was pretty cool because she was an assassin, and she looked really similar, I feel, to what I made Evelyn look like, but she also had like magic abilities and stuff, and I don't know, I just like that was kind of in the back of my head because like she was a badass. Evelyn hasn't really been a badass until like maybe an episode ago. But, like,
yeah.
That's
fine.
Yeah.
All right. Well, so where did Charles come from?
Where did Charles come from?
Or did you just like were you just like it's just a melee? We need a melee character, so
No, not really. I think when the idea for his character, I basically built his character off the backstory that I wanted, like that I built. Like I think I did backstory first, and then I built the character from that. And it's a shame because that's how I normally like when I do a character creation like this. I always like, all right, what's an interesting backstory I want to go with? Because I don't want the standard like, like for instance, like Evelyn, like like broken home, tragic backstory, or or there's Pose of just I just left because I wanted something like, well, he had a purpose in life and he wanted to like focus on it. So I figured, okay, where can I go from there? Picking from the place I came from, I thought, well, Merchant Town, they need guards, right? Okay, I can work with this, and that's where I ended up coming from.
May I interrupt you? What about me?
Well, like what you've told us is like you just kind of got bored.
Oh yeah,
so like
that's
you just
not true at all. He lied.
Oh,
he lied?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, okay. Oh, wow, that's interesting.
These 20 episodes have all been a lie.
It was a huge conspiracy the whole time.
Poe's actually been itching this entire time.
I have something really, but maybe it'll come out. If not, and then I'll.
Well, it's just like because I have like I tend to like even when I'm at work, I'll just sit then like make up just stories in my head anyway. So it's easy for me just to think of like a backstory and then just build it from there. So that's where it came from. I kind of wanted to like build this like I had originally, if you guys remember, made where he was really young.
Yeah.
And he was going to be like really upbeat about everything. But the way I had originally started playing it, I just couldn't find myself doing that for now 20 episodes. Oh my God.
Yeah.
No way. I could have never done that. So I think I made him a little older and a little like more like apt to how the world works. Mm-hmm. Just so it would be, for me, it'd have been easier to not have to do like
young Charles was a good like counterpart to my Avery character.
Yes, because Avery was like older,
very cynical about everything,
and then young Charles was just like.
I thought when you aged up Charles versus my Lucky, it was like a really good combination as well. So I thought everything kind of gelled together.
Well, that's like that whole thing with you and me with Lucky and Charles was like the bones was really funny because it's like. Charles is like he's been a human for like he's been a human for like 20 something years. He like there's things that Lucky wouldn't know. Hence, like you can't take this like this is desecrating a gravesite, and Lucky is still being part of like being a dog. It's like like it's just a bone, like whatever. So like that was just really fun to me because I think that was probably one of the better like the more like I guess gelled like role playing moments. I know you and I have our role playing moments all the time though.
Yeah. So where did Poe come from?
Poe came from
Game of Thrones.
I was gonna say, come on, tell us the real shit now.
Yeah, spill your real shit since you decided to tease us with that earlier.
Me and Alex played a campaign. We played Rise of the Rune Lords back in 2014, 2015, something like that.
Yeah, so that's like forever.
I know, right? And then we started a second campaign, and I actually that's where I first built him.
Yeah.
Then I've kind of modified him a bit since then. He's actually his original name was Poe Sane, based off Brian Posehn. Because back then I was listening.
Of the love of Nerd Poker.
Nerd Poker was the best podcast ever. And then I kind of went away from that a bit. I still tell like the jokes.
Yeah.
Brian Posehn's a comedian, obviously. But then I switched from just I built him to do the throwing the axe and then charging thing, but I don't think that's working out. So I might be building him differently, leveling on up. So
yeah,
But yeah, that's basically where he came from. And then the thing with the leaving the where he lived, like I actually had him be 18.
Oh yeah.
But then I realized how far away where he grew up is from Priden's Hearth. Mm-hmm. So I made him like 4 or 5 years older just because it would literally take him that long.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So he's just been traveling for the past 4 or 5 years to get here.
Wow.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
And he says that the reason he left was because he got bored, but it was actually because he told a joke about a leader from his town. And they kicked him out.
Oh, well, that's a lot less sinister than I expected.
He rolled a 1 on his. So yeah, that's and he's really sad about that because he thinks he's a good joke teller, but
yeah.
so
He's like
But he's
so
mistaken.
he's so like cynical in his own way. Like, I'm a great joke. I'm a great comedian. Those guys are just wrong. They don't understand.
exactly.
All right,
That's pretty funny.
Nice.
Hit me with another question.
All right.
Oh, I thought you were going to say, hit me with a joke. Come on, give us a joke.
No,
No, we
don't encourage that.
Yeah, we don't.
This is from Adam Wendell, who played
Leslie.
Leslie.
By the
Leslie
way,
Lucky.
your identities are not safe with us. We're telling
I mean, it's on
your
Facebook.
Yeah, it's
A social security number is 3.
It's 3.
Just 3.
Which of Chris's voices do you all enjoy the most? I mean, Fat Mario.
Can we do, like, which one we enjoy the most and which one we hate the most?
Sure, go for it.
Okay.
Fat Mario and
Fat Mario.
No, I'm just kidding.
Definitely Fat Mario and is my favorite. And the crab really I didn't
God.
like the creature. I kind of like the way it talked, not the way it talked, but like I just hated the voice that he did with it because it hurt my ears
Right.
when recording.
Okay.
Well, that's
So.
interesting. I think if I had to pick a favorite, I'd probably go. I don't know. I think. I don't know. Fat Mario's pretty good,
Yeah.
but I don't want everyone to be Fat Mario though. I really liked like the guy we met off the boat, like just the way like
Yeah,
even though it's
junkie.
junkie guy, like, he was really funny. Like I really liked him. I think my least favorite might have been the first lizard folk like leader we met in like that swamp. Like the way her voice was done, it just was like, ugh,
Oh yeah.
no thanks.
Oh, the fucking ooze methods. Those
Yeah,
were my
those
ears,
guys
too.
were really annoying.
Oh, I liked them.
They're
I
funny
liked him, but
characters,
he just like it was too loud when we were recording. I think I had to tone him down a bit in the edit.
Yeah.
yeah, you guys don't get it, but he's like sitting right next to me and Des.
Yeah.
So anytime he does something, I have to look at him like, please.
Please, my ears. My favorite. It's kind of an odd choice, but I talked to Chris about this before. I really liked how he portrayed Count Narcissus.
Yes.
I thought meeting him, he would be like a confident, like apt leader. And when Chris came in playing him as like this like bumbling, nervous, like stuttering all the
Yeah.
time, I was like, oh, okay, that
Plays to a story with how Hamsa's
informed-
part of. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
a really cool story narrative that we got out of that. So
Yeah, and so I just thought that was a great role play moment, and like, yeah, he was probably one of my favorites.
I still think his sheriff is really good too. Like I really like when I have to like talk to the sheriff. Like for a while I looked forward to it.
Yeah,
I don't know why, but it was just like the way he carried the voice.
his like European.
Yeah,
sheriff.
like it. Yeah, like
It's not any specific region because
It's
it's
just-
constantly shifting
it's-
around.
or when you played her.
Yeah. Well, I intentionally did
Yeah,
it
you
bad,
intentionally did it bad, but-
it was still funny.
What was your least favorite?
My least favorite has to be
Papaya guy. I hate that guy. I hate that voice. Like
I like the character.
He plays the
Right.
character so well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that voice that he does it hurts me physically. Because I don't know why. I think it's just the inflection he does with making his voice rise higher and lower. It's just like, oh god. It's not my favorite. Chris, if you're listening to this, I'm not going to say you're bad. Like, you're a fantastic GM, and I wouldn't, I'm glad what you're doing. It just, we have to pick on you because you're not here.
Exactly.
I can't really.
There really isn't a bad one, I should say. Like,
I'd say Gugwa, the crab
Gugwa,
thing.
yeah, that was
probably my least. Like, it was interesting, but it was a little hard to understand.
Yeah.
But I totally get where he was going with it.
Oh, yeah.
It wasn't a bad voice. It was probably just my least favorite one.
Yeah.
I guess my favorite is probably either Gypsy Lady or Magi. Magi? Yeah.
Magi.
The shopkeep.
Which one? The
The
old
one-
lady?
yes, the old lady.
is great.
Oh, she was great.
Every role play
totally
thing I've had
forgot
to
about
do
her.
with the old lady and Charles was really
That
really
was
fun.
so good.
Especially when we had to go when the storm was coming, and I
had to grab her?
picked her up and just
Right.
carried her. But also the interaction that Lucky and I think was it Evelyn had or Poe had with that guy who wouldn't leave his house.
Oh, it was Poe.
Because it was like his mom's house and he wouldn't
Yeah.
leave, and you're just like the way that he was like being so stubborn about it, and the way like Lucky is like getting more and more agitated, like, look dude, like for real, like we need to go. Like that was I thought you were gonna kill him.
When a talking dog tells you gotta get the fuck out, you gotta get the fuck out.
Well, I felt like sitting up like from outside of my perspective, because for me, like my point was almost done because I wasn't really doing, because I had grabbed my person and went. I'm like, is Alex gonna kill this guy? Just I guess like.
But yeah, so it would either be the Gypsy Lady or Magi, just because listening to them is so relaxing. They're
Hamsa's pretty fun with that too, though.
yeah,
I really liked his
Except
portrayal
for
of
sick
the
Hamsa.
sheriff.
yeah.
Yeah, like I
The
said.
sheriff was pretty good.
Yeah. But yeah, when Chris was sick and he was playing Hamsa, it was like, oh, that's great.
Yeah, it wasn't that great, but you know.
So my least favorite, you guys know, but it hasn't been released yet. It's in the Christmas episode. It's the character he plays. Like, he's great at playing the character, but something about that voice just, like, makes me cringe.
But you do know the character he's based off of, right?
No.
Yeah,
I have no
I
idea.
do.
It's the guy who plays Joe from Family Guy, I believe.
Oh, that's right.
But still, it just kills me. I don't know why. I'm used to, like, his energy with all these other characters, so it's a contrast. And
I actually kind of like the more, like, laid back, like, I liked it more, I think, just because of, you know,
While we're on the subject
of Chris.
of the Christmas
Oh,
episode, we recorded one and we were behind on our episode reserves, and we didn't have enough turnaround to get the episode out.
I mean, plus it was the holidays. So.
Yeah.
It was it was a crazy time.
Two of us work in retail, so
So we do have a Christmas episode that we'll probably release as like a bonus content.
sometime in the future.
I don't know if we're going to actually do a Patreon or not, but it might be something for that. Something to just help with the cost of the podcast, but or it'll be a website exclusive, something like that.
I liked the Chris episode. I think I really enjoyed it. It was fun.
Yeah.
All right, let's
All right.
grab another question.
Next question from Stephanie Andrews. Does Lucky wear armor?
Oh, is there a second part to that?
There is. Why aren't people marveling over his adorable gear?
Lucky doesn't actually have like armor per se. He's not wearing light armor or, I mean, any actual armor.
You're just wearing a harness?
Yeah, Lucky
Fairy
has
stuff?
a adventuring harness.
He has like
for-
We
saddlebags.
picked that up in the episode, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, because
So,
I think we talked about
you can actually, we have art of our characters on the website. You
Yes.
can check out
On the Facebook?
Check it out.
I'm grabbing these questions from the Facebook at the moment.
those
also.
are really cool. I really liked how this
There's
turned
a
out.
pinned
Yeah.
post if you want to.
And I think Lucky's wearing boots. I don't know what they are. I think they're like they add something to
elven-
Dex.
Yeah,
right?
he's got the elven boots on now, on two of his paws,
Yeah.
Are they on your back paws or your front paws?
back paws.
Back paws.
I kind of imagine, I don't know if I've said this in episodes, but Lucky will walk around on all fours just kind of casually. But when he's like
in combat.
in combat or when he's like actually talking to people, he kind of stands up to try and like match them.
Yeah, he's trying to be more like
He's trying
he's trying
to
to
be,
Chest
personify
out.
more.
yeah.
Okay.
So
That's always a fun image to have when you're like he's standing on his two legs, and I'm like, oh, this is pretty cute.
yeah.
Next question is from Jake Smith. Why isn't there a YouTube channel? Can you do an intro video of what Adventure Awaits is so us nerds who currently don't get it can feel cool too before jumping into the podcast?
Well, we actually do have a YouTube channel. It just we haven't uploaded any content.
There's no videos or anything.
But I think we definitely could make something like that pretty easily. So
maybe getting into Starfinder?
Yeah, we could make like a Starfinder intro of like, us just describing like our characters and something like that.
Yeah.
That'd be cool.
And he has like a third question. I don't know. 3 is too much, I think.
We're going to have to cut you off.
He says he would like to know more about the really high elf.
Well, you just got to listen.
Yeah.
He's not actually an elf, he's a human, but
oh yeah, he's human.
Yeah.
I don't know why we
also we don't know. We know as much as you do because Chris has all that info.
Yeah, that's all. I'm sure if he was here he'd tell you.
Maybe the next one of these we do Chris can give us some behind the scenes from the GM side of the show.
Right.
Yeah, I think when we get back to Priden's Hearth we'll learn more about what his deal is.
But I can tell you one thing that we all know. He's pretty useless. And I feel bad because of, like, seeing his, like, stat sheet, like, when Chris had it, like, I happened to glance at it. Like, he has some really cool stuff he just never gets to use. Like, it's really disappointing.
Well, he's got that sweet ganj, though.
Yeah, he's got that sweet, sweet kush. So, I mean, I think he's winning in that regard.
So all the rest of the questions are Starfinder related. Is there any other things you want to say about Pathfinder, the Pathfinder game?
Was that all, like, from everything?
What, questions?
Everything else is Starfinder.
That weren't Starfinder.
Oh.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm ready for Starfinder unless you have something for Pathfinder. No. If you have something for Pathfinder,
well, I had something that I kind of wanted to throw in the beginning where we were talking about, like, best moment, worst moment. Did you guys have, like, a scariest moment? Because I had one.
Definitely.
I think
the orb.
The orb was probably like, I don't know if I mentioned it in the episode, but I think I told you guys when we finished that recording when Lucky and Poe went to like grab the orb, I literally like my chest tightened up. Like I started getting like I had started like a panic attack. Like I started I started breathing really heavy and like I was like, oh fuck, because I was like, oh my god, like this is gonna suck if they mess this up. Like I was super.
You're gonna be stuck with Evelyn.
I know I can't get stuck with Evelyn. I hate her. No, but I started getting like really nervous. Like it actually did. Like my heart started to pump a little faster, and I was just like, oh, like even sitting in the same room, like across from you guys, like that feeling of like anxiety really hit me. I was like, holy crap, like
man. I could definitely like feel the tension when there was you guys a lot. Yeah. I think my scariest moment personally when I was trying to roleplay talking to Charles about our issues because women don't let things go.
I know you don't.
I like actually trying to roleplay that, like my heart was like beating and like my voice was cracking. I was like ready to cry.
It's stuff like that is really fun to like actually get down and roleplay because it's like you get a chance like, there's no silly, there's no like gag, it's like complete seriousness and it's kind of
spoke up.
It's kind of hard to do that because
we did have to stop.
You have Alex sitting across from you and he always tries to mess you up when you're trying to be serious. So
right.
I'm sorry.
No,
I'm ruining the podcast.
We're letting you go. No, like even like when you said, I think we were going through like we had like a break, right? Like between episodes, and I think you had mentioned like, hey, like, do you think we could do that? And I'm like, I mean, we can do that's fine. Like, I think at the time that conflict, I think I wanted that to be like to be like. It didn't go on as long as it should. It did.
Yeah.
But we got like sidetracked with all the other stupid stuff we had to go through.
Yeah.
So
I do wish it would have been resolved within like 2 episodes of that.
Yeah. I think honestly I forgot about it for like a few episodes until like we came back to it because Chris was like, you guys still mad? I'm like, oh yeah, that's the thing, isn't it?
I definitely felt like I wanted to make him happy because he wanted us to resolve it so bad. And so I was like, I didn't like say it in that episode, but I should have just been like, well, I'm a chick and I don't let things go. So,
well, also you got to think like from Evelyn's point of view, like you said, like, she's from a broken home and this kind of like us doing what we did, didn't sit well with her. And, and she's right by all regards. That's, but again, from Charles's point of view, like from combat, you left,
Right.
like complete, just bolted. I'm out of here.
Yeah.
So no, but that whole moment was without these two idiots messing it up. It was really fun to do. Like, part of me loves like the stupid gag stuff, but like another part of me really, really loves like that down to serious, like that whole part with me and Lucky with when I was like, "Oh, you're gonna kill the only man I've ever loved in front of me," and like Lucky, like that whole point of like that tension between like those two, like, oh, did I do something? He goes, no, you didn't do anything. Like, I really kind of like that stuff's kind of fun to do, just because it kind of there's a tension there.
Yeah.
And even if it's not like between like the people, the characters, and for 2 hours, 3 hours is like when we record, that's who I am. I'm not Ryan. I'm Charles. Or Kevin and Poe are the same person, but
pretty much.
Yeah, they both smell terrible.
It sucks. I sit right next to him. No, I'm just kidding. But that was really fun, and I'm sure we're gonna get into a lot of that in Starfinder.
I think the serious role play moments in general have been kind of the scarier things, because I kind of got the same feel when the story kind of touched on Lucky's backstory.
Yeah.
Like when Argyle started talking, and even before that, when we had the talk when we were heading out from Priden's Hearth. I feel like for Lucky, that stuff is a really sore subject.
It's a heavy topic.
Yeah.
So whenever somebody talks to him about it, he wants to talk about it because he's been holding it inside for so long. But like, it's hard for him.
It's an insecurity.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know if you're willing to answer, but like was he like when he first became like sentient, basically? Like, was he like? Did he just like embrace it, like, and started talking all the time, or did people have like a negative effect? Like, was there a negative reaction about it, or?
Yeah, I kind of.
I don't remember if you've alluded to it or not.
I was gonna.
There's all that stuff we were gonna do, like story wise, but I think since we're basically like almost done with this, I think our plan for this adventure, like this module, is to come back to it like as a bonus.
Yeah, I would definitely probably like to revisit these
because
characters.
I know, because there's so much that I know all four of us have story wise that we haven't even touched on.
Yeah,
and I don't want to like just drop them completely. Anyway, I'm sure we can, like, if we can use them again.
Well, just a quick answer your question. Yeah, he was like, "Oh my gosh, I'm excitable. I'm a dog. I can talk now," and he was like, people thought he was a freak, so that's why he kind of ran away, and he just kind of was like, I'm going to play it like I'm a dog because people don't understand me. So that's why he was hesitant to talk in the earlier episodes.
Well, it was because I remember like when at the beginning when it was like when we first started, no one really talked. Like it was like my role play and Chris's role play.
Yeah.
And I don't know if I really like forced your hand at like revealing he could talk, but I felt like that was part of it.
I didn't want it to go on for too long. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because like
I wanted it to be a cool reveal, and
it was. Don't get me wrong; it was a fantastic. It was still one of my favorite moments of the Ice to meet you.
Yeah, but it was something I wanted to put in there. Was his like
his reserve to like actually talk about it.
And I feel like everybody else was it was nerves.
Oh, it was definitely nerves. I mean, I still get nervous. Like I'll still sit down sometimes and we'll do our intros, and there's still like part of me like we've been doing this for like months now, but it's still very like nervous to know that like what like we're saying here, this stupid gags we do, people are downloading and enjoying.
Yeah,
right.
So yeah, and having a microphone in front of you, like
it's very nerve-wracking.
When you're just starting out, it's
intimidating.
It's intimidating.
Yeah.
Did you have a terrifying moment, or was it the orb?
Yeah, they were.
The orb. Nice.
Yeah, his terrifying moment was taking a shower.
Well, there was yeah, that was pretty bad. There's also, I think I've gone down to like 0 HP like multiple times.
There was the troll fight that night where, if you could tell, I had like almost no health going out into that. That's why I was like, I really don't want to. That's why when Chris was like, when we were like doing that episode, he's like, you guys don't have to go, and I'm like, like
kind of do.
Me, Ryan wise, I don't want to go because I don't want my character to die. But Charles wise, this is his home; he's got to protect it. So he's like, oh, like all right, let's go. And like I think I got down like 1 health or something.
Yeah.
So it's like, oh, geez.
No, you were down 0.
And
That was 0, you're right.
That was kind of a demoralizing night in story because we had so much to fight.
We had the water elementals, the troll. I think at the very end of that was when we
went to go
saw
fight the lizards.
The lizards with the lady the lizard folk we end up capturing.
Yeah.
And then Evelyn wanted to cut her hands off. That was another great moment, by the way, of us sitting in this room. Me and Alex are like, we'll do this good cop, bad cop thing. And then Poe fails his intimidation check to try to strangle her against the wall and intimidate her. And then I remember us sitting here I think you and I were discussing what we're gonna ask next, and then Evelyn just goes, or Des goes, we can just cut our hands off. And I think we all stopped and went, what the fuck? Why? What are you thinking with this? What's going on? Those moments
that got
were
cut. A lot of it got cut.
Yeah,
that's where the magic of editing took over.
Yeah, but there was a lot there's a lot of stuff that, Evelyn I don't know how much stays into what she'll say.
Yeah.
But we'll be talking about something and she'll say something completely out of left field, super weird, and we're all just what? For more instance, last episode with the furry pancake thing. I know that stayed in. And that happens a lot.
Yes.
And I'm sure with Starfinder it's going to continue.
You're weird.
It's all right.
Hey, next question
weird.
there, guy.
Yeah, so we're going to move over to the Discord questions. There we have a Discord you can join. We have a text channel called question submissions, which you can
Questing submissions.
So we got a question from Mr. Holdout. Are y'all planning on doing the current playthrough until you all die, or get bored before you switch over to Starfinder?
I think we've kind of touched base on that earlier, but just to rehash, I think we're gonna hit we're probably gonna hit at the end of the adventure, the module, and then I think
soonish.
Yeah, within 2 episodes maybe. So probably within the next few weeks you'll get the quote unquote the finish to this, and then.
Yeah. But we've kind of discussed we don't necessarily if they die naturally, whatever.
Oh no, I mentioned earlier, we're gonna kind of keep on the back burner,
kind of like the Halloween episode. We're gonna bring back.
We'll probably could use them for bonus or holiday episodes,
right?
So.
Yeah, and if we're lucky enough to get to the point where we could do a live show, we could bring them back for that.
That is my ultimate goal right now. If my ultimate goal right now, seriously, is if we could do a live show, that'd be insane.
Let's just go ahead and do one in the middle of
just in a library or something.
Yeah,
live.
2 people show up.
Yeah, the library. It's most of the librarian tell us to shut up.
Yeah,
we brought all our equipment.
All right.
And then another question was, will there be space corgis? Mr. Holdout.
Somebody created a space corgi.
It's on the
race.
Starfinder subreddit.
Yeah, it is.
Starfinder.
I saw it when I was there the other day.
It's there. I'm not going to typecast myself as a space corgi, but if anybody else wants to play one, you can feel free to do so.
There were some ideas thrown around where Ryan was going to play a character that would have a Lucky Goodbot.
Yeah, so I was going to play
a mechanic,
and the mechanic has a drone, and it. And it's kind of and I was gonna bring Lucky Good Boy into the future as Lucky Good Bot, and I was gonna have him talk and have Alex voice the character, because I think we talked about doing that until I decided against it, because I think that would have been a little too much. I feel.
I think it would have been amazing.
It would have been fun, and maybe if my character dies, that might be on the back burner. So.
Oh, there we go.
So Lucky Good Bot could still make an appearance in the future. Don't hold your breath. You might die.
And that's all the questions.
That's all the questions.
All right. Well, cool. Like I said at the top of this, if you have any questions, we have tons of places you can leave them. The Facebook page, we have a Twitter.
There's a Discord.
Our Discord, which you can find a link to on our website, which is another place that you can leave questions. Yeah, we got plenty of space for it. So...
and
keep them coming.
I think I like doing this kind of stuff, this kind of breakdown of just talking about the episodes and their experiences. So this is fun. I like doing this. I'd like to do more of it. Like I said, if we could do
this is kind of relaxing.
It is very relaxing.
Sure.
It's very
when we
relaxing.
actually record the show.
There's no we have to find a stopping point.
Yeah.
That's some of the hardest things is trying to find a stopping point in the episodes, because we'll be oh, that was a good stopping point 5 minutes ago, but
right.
We're not at the exact time we want to stop at, so do we want to keep going and make it longer? Or
right.
Yeah. I also kind of, I don't know, maybe just on the Facebook page, I kind of wanted to open up another segment for maybe if we do more of these kind of shows, like as a bonus thing. If you have a PC that you really enjoyed playing, submit it, tell us about it, and we can do like a character spotlight kind of thing.
That would be really cool, just to get like other people's like fun characters they've played.
Yeah, I think.
Or maybe even Chris could add them into the AP.
Hey Matt, I know if you listen to this, you've played a lot of D&D. I want some of your characters because some of them you've told me are fantastic.
Yeah, so if you have like a favorite character that you've played, let us know about it. Facebook page or Twitter. If you have a stat block, that would even be awesome. We could maybe put some of that stuff on our website. So other people that are lacking in ideas could grab that and run with it.
I'm sure they're going to grab Lucky's a lot. I'm sure that's going to be like a fan
Yeah, you
favorite.
can put those on the website.
Yeah, we have all of our current characters' stat blocks, and that'll be going up on the website pretty soon.
I think that brings this little special episode to a close, ladies and gents.
I wanted to say thank you to everyone who's been listening and who keeps up, and you rock.
Yeah, and again, thanks, Paul. You're
the super
you're the
fan.
best.
Da bomb.
Our street team.
Yeah.
We can't thank you enough.
For
You're
real,
great.
though. Yeah.
Thanks to Adam. He helps out a lot. He downloads the show. He helped me on the Christmas episode.
He sat in here with us for 4 hours when we recorded the Halloween episode.
Yeah, that was a learning experience. Thanks, Chris.
Yeah, Chris, don't act like this isn't actually an episode that shit on you. You're a fantastic DM. Everyone has to learn. So
Yeah.
keep up.
And
We
Evelyn has a
appreciate
short
everything.
bow.
Yes, Evelyn has a short bow, not a long bow.
Or a crossbow.
Or a crossbow. Did she say crossbow?
He said crossbow in the
Did she?
episode before. Yeah.
All right. Well, just one final plug. If you enjoy what you hear, go ahead and subscribe. Write a review on Facebook or iTunes or Stitcher. We're all over the place, and it would help the show out a lot. So, thanks again.
Thanks, everybody.
Yep.
Bye.
Bye.